Bring out the herd.
Yes.
Hi. I have a question for James.
Line up.
What do you use to freeze time so you can do everything that you do in a day? Because you do a lot.
This is actually James' brother.
You clone yourself?
I'll tell him that, I'll deliver that question over his name. I don't know, I do the movies during the summer. Like, we did this last summer, and I guess I flew back a couple times to go to school. Yeah, you're gonna have to like...
Right, and your documentary and your book and your art show?
Yes, I guess I have to fly home and take tests. I mean, I've been working on a lot of those things for years.
He was a general hospital. He was a general hospital. Yeah? He was a general hospital. This year, right?
For a while, and the art show, involves projects we've been working on for years. So, it just looks like.
Okay, well, you're doing a good job of making it look like you're doing a lot.
All right, yeah. Get off the stage.
Okay, next
No
question.
questions,
Why don't we go over here?
The line.
Yes, I have a quick comment and a quick question. First of all,
Not quick.
Tom, I know you're not here for this, but you made a great movie, The Station Agent. I know a lot of people here have.
Oh, that's exactly why I'm here.
It doesn't get a lot of talk, so thank you. But anyway, the footage looks great, but this is interesting because it's kind of a difficult type of movie to make in a studio, and it's not like anything else that's probably on the schedule for the next year or a couple years or whatever. And I wanted to know if there were any, if there was any input from the studio or any notes or anything they demanded or suggested, any sort of struggles you ran into. Thanks.
I'll answer that. I mean, we were really fortunate enough to work with an amazing studio that was really supportive of our idea for the movie. And people always talk about the politics and frustrations of getting away with a difficult movie or a movie that's trying to be distinctive, original in some way. And we just really didn't have a lot of those problems. Like we had great people that were collaborators from the beginning, and I don't think they would have let us out of the gate on something like this if we weren't clear about the tone that we were going for, and they didn't have some degree of risk. Anytime you're going to do something that's a little left of center, I think people are a little bit nervous about it. But when you're kind of all looking at each other out of the corner of your eye and thinking, this is somebody I want to get into business with, let's just fucking do it. It really worked out great for everybody, I think.
Great, thanks. Get over here.
I also have a comment and a question. First comment is for Mr. Kenny Powers. Are you hiring? Because I can be your spotter if you want.
Did you ask, am I high?
No. Hiring.
Yes, I am hiring, yeah.
I'm your spotter then?
Yeah, of course, why not?
All right.
These sort of guns are not,
I'll try to
having
have
a spotters.
All right, the real question is for Mr. Franco. I wanted to know how do you go over...
You're preparing yourself.
Well, if you want to hire me,
I'm hiring, so please, no real questions for Danny.
Well, I thought he would say no if I asked him if he was hiring. That's why.
Okay, enough.
Mr. Franco, how do you go from being all these comedy roles? Then I know you're coming out with your new movie, the 127 Hours. How do you go from
That movie's hilarious.
No, I'm saying it's how do you go from a comedy role to a really dramatic role? What do you do prep mentally for that?
What's that?
How do you prep mentally to go from a comedy role to a serious role?
Actually, I think Danny Boyle will tell you that one of the reasons he hired me for 127 Hours is because of Pineapple Express, and he said that. So it's I see everything. Life is a big comedy. But no, it's
I think it's
kind of a different approach. It's when I know I'm going over to David and Danny and all these guys. We had we I think worked up a certain way of working on Pineapple Express, where it's, you know, in some ways, the script, you know, you use the script in some ways, and then after that, you know that, you know, you can kind of go anywhere, and that's the environment that David creates, and that is an unusual environment. We didn't do that really on 127 hours, just because there weren't any other actors to kind of improvise with, so with David, it's really kind of, I think you depend a lot on the chemistry and the relationships you have with the other actors, and it does become, David does create, you know, despite all the spectacle and all the effects and action we have in this movie, he does create a space where the actors can really just discover things on set, and that, I think, is one of the most important ingredients to his movies and the comedy in these movies.
All right, thank you. If you guys are still hiring, I'll be here all day. Thank you very much. Over here.
Thanks. The trailer looks amazing, by the way. It's really, really funny. And you guys mentioned that you were all sci-fi fans and into the whole fantasy thing a while back when you were growing up. And obviously we're all here because we do love this genre, the sci-fi fantasy genre. So Danny and James, did you guys ever have to overcome any adversity, being called a geek, or back in high school kind of being made fun of, or dressing up, or just for your love of the genre?
I mean, James, you probably were made fun of a lot when you were you know, I mean, I wasn't really made fun of for liking fantasy films. That was for other reasons, that I couldn't, you know, throw a baseball or get a softball, you know.
Yeah, I played like Dungeons and Dragons and like some of the intros and stuff. But all my friends were doing it, so I don't know.
Who was your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Well, I had to be Donatello. I mean, I don't. He probably wasn't my first choice, but I think I was like the last one to like join the group. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, over here.
Okay, in the footage, the sight beyond sight.
Oh, Lionel's asking a question.
Looks kind of familiar. Can I see my costume?
Nice.
But that's not the question.
settle down.
But
Lionel.
my question is for James Franco. My question is for James. I love everything you do, all the way back from Freaks and Geeks. It's great. My sister told me I have to ask you, she loves General Hospital. Why do you love General Hospital? What you decided to do that show?
Awesome.
You do a great job on it, by the way.
That is a long. The answer to that is pretty long, but I basically was talking to an artist friend of mine, and we were talking about soap operas, and the idea came up like, what if I really did one? And it was, you know, in some ways it was as simple as that. And then when we actually approached General Hospital, because my manager represents one of the actors on there, Steve Burton. And we said, yeah, I want to be on it. They were very excited by that idea, and they said, sure, James. I remember actually, I had the conversation with them while we were in Belfast on the phone. They said, you know, who do you want to play? Do you want to like write on it? What do you want to do? And I said, I want to be an artist, and I want him to be crazy. And then I wanted the full, you know, soap opera treatment, like of whatever, you know, whatever that meant to them. That's what I wanted. And so they came up with this character named Franco. They asked me if they could call him Franco, and that was even better. And they gave me like more than I could have asked for, like a soap opera version of an artist who then became very like, it became very self-referential in a lot of ways, and I.
Even the sound system didn't want to.
And like the
turn around the material so quickly. They were able to like start writing like around what I was doing, and so the character on the show started like filming himself, and then you know my friends like and my producing partner Vince Jolivet and all these other guys were actually put on the show as Franco's like camera people, and then it turned into this show at the Museum of Contemporary Art in LA where it was like a weird culture smash where we had like museum and art, you know, museum patrons, art lovers there, and then hardcore soap opera fans there, and everybody mixing and not knowing if it was like a show at the museum, if it was my show, if it was Franco's show, and Jeffrey Deitch, the new head, was on General Hospital, and you know, it was all crazy. Yeah, thanks, it was a blast. I'm gonna do some more.